You remember that drone shot Carlos shared in the group chat today? Totally spectacular, isn't it? The bird's eye view is freaking mesmerizing. It provoked me to share our journey of AI in photography to a broader audience today. Guess what? I even hosted an online digital art course today. I explained how much of a profound impact AI is making in the field of art, including photography. It was exhilarating. Honestly, it's more of a realization thing. Here I am, a brand manager at Click AI, having access to all this knowledge about AI-empowered art. I just felt it was about time to democratize this knowledge. And whoa, the audience reception was great. Met 2 participants, Paul and Lisa. Both were cagey at first, perhaps because of the AI part. But you wouldn't believe it. By the end of the session, they were all game and ready to dive into the AI art realm. Isn't that beautiful? The power of knowledge. Speaking of beauty, Lucas has been cooking up some illustrations with a touch of Inception effect, and he is going to preview them in our upcoming weekend art walk. Will be interesting to see how that turns out, eh? Carlos's spooky soap bubbles adventure still has me cracking up. Did you notice how it's always Carlos who ends up finding the weirdest things? On an entirely different note, it seems Carlos is planning to run the NY Marathon. Well, not my thing, but I'll gladly cheer for him. Might be fun. Emily is saving up her energy instead for some Lebanese food after the art walk. Classic Emily. And Lucas, the artist among us. Guess we're all setting the stage for a lively weekend, huh? Anyway, guys were hugely supportive of my course idea, as always, and even asked for a sneak peek after the art walk. I guess I'll do that. Could use their fresh perspective. After all, each medium is just about perspectives, as Lucas quite rightly put it. Speaking of perspectives, my perspective on Lebanese food might change this weekend. Exciting, right? All right, starting to ramble a bit here, probably the excitement talking. As much as I love chit-chatting with you, my dear, it's time for me to get back to preparing for tomorrow's session. Did I tell you how brilliant Carlos's idea of baking is turning out to be? His newfound love for sourdough is giving knead a whole new meaning. He's already thinking of experimenting with his bread by making bread paintings. No idea how that's going to work out, but you've got to give it to him for his unconventional ideas. Now remember Emily? Well, she asserts that baking is therapeutic. Well, pulling that from her psychology degree, I reckon there's some truth to it. Have to try it out myself sometime, don't you think? Talking about therapy, guess what I got up to today? I took a photo walk around the city. The theme, the architectural diversity of NYC. Beautiful, right? It's amazing how the city is a perfect mix of the old and the new. It was like time traveling through architecture. Can you imagine that? Oh, and I bumped into Jake. Remember him? Yeah, fellow photographer. He seemed really amazed by the photos I captured today. What a feeling. You know how it just motivates you to go further, right? Anyway, guess what Lucas said when he saw my photos? He suggests I should turn them into digital masterpieces. Nice compliment, wasn't it? That put a huge smile on my face, I won't lie. Just in case you were wondering, yes, I did share the photos in our group chat. Our friends loved it too. Emily especially, saying it was the perfect mix of old and new. So NYC. You know, it's moments like these that make me appreciate the spirit of our city so much more. I mean, where else do you find such architectural diversity, right? Talking about diversity, our group chat took another turn when Emily suddenly remembered a tune from Imagine Dragons. Now you know how much I love music, right? So that was really a pleasant turn of events. Quite a throwback to our mindless road trips, right? Oh, and Lucas reminisced about our music-filled adventures. Brought back quite some happy memories. Wouldn't you agree? Out of nowhere, we were suddenly talking about our karaoke nights. Remember that time when Carlos sang Single Ladies? I bet you do. Ah, those were the days, right? He's even asking when our next karaoke night is. Should plan one soon. What do you think? It's funny how a conversation spirals into so many more conversations, don't you think? One minute Carlos is baking, another we're discussing my photographs, and the next we're talking about music. That's us, isn't it? Lives filled with ambition and dreams merged into a beautiful friendship. Whoa there, I just went all philosophical on you. My Columbia days just peeped out, looking at us and beaming with pride. But hey, don't you just love it when a casual chat turns so nostalgic and memorable? This little chit-chat is the highlight of my day. Anyhow. So the blog post I mentioned earlier, the self-reflective one about my career journey? Right, well, I finally got around to penning it, putting thought to pixel, so to speak. It was kind of cathartic, really, exploring this meandering path I've taken, from philosophy undergrad to brand manager at an AI-driven photography firm. Weird, right? Brought up all these memories of the Oregon coast and the photos I used to take. I mean, who knew that my obsession with my dad's old Canon would lead me down this Silicon Valley meets Warhol pathway? Hell, sometimes I feel like I'm living someone else's sitcom plotline. You know, the one where the seemingly unrelated skills of the quirky protagonist somehow transform into the perfect skill set for an unbelievably cool job. Apparently that's me. And I got to say, the script ain't half bad. While penning this blog post, I had a digital rendezvous with Tom, the insightful podcast host we previously chatted about. Trust me, the guy's beyond borders in exploring unique subjects, making him a pretty cool conversation partner, but thankfully, no career debacles today. Carlos and the rest, though, they found it amusing, my little trip down memory lane. Emily particularly liked how I ended the post with the bit about how every step, every misstep, led me to where I am now. You know, it really got me thinking how I have had this constant interplay of art, technology, and philosophy throughout my life. From being that 12-year-old with a camera, to the woman navigating through AI and art, and everything else in between. It's funny, unusual, much like Lucas pointed out. And yes, for Carlos, it provided another silver lining inspiration. Appreciation like that definitely gives it a whole new perspective. Lucas, Emily, Carlos, they all have been instrumental in this journey, and I can't appreciate enough the shared wisdom and learnings I've absorbed from them. Have to admit, I felt quite gratified after posting it and getting the gang's response. So, in the spirit of this little trip down memory lane, I've been dusting off the old guitar. I blame Emily and her levitating by Dua Lipa recommendation. Found myself playing the chords before I knew it. The tune indeed is full of positive energy. It sparked a thought. I think I will play it during our perhaps oh-so-awaited next karaoke night. Imagine this. Carlos, doing his legendary dance moves, to upbeat music coupled with guitar strumming. That would be a riot. Well, enough of my reminiscing and planning Herculean dance nights.